there has been a recent notice regarding the altering of the LO compensation rule. So I'm going to refer to my notes here just a little bit. The CFPB sent LO comp and servicing rules to the OMB for review, and they're talking about possibly a full rescission of LO compensation rules. Like, can you imagine? Now, if you remember back, which I'm sure most people don't, but if you remember all the way back when they first rolled out LO compensation rules, they were quite egregious. And then there was some clarification made over time. So the question is, are they going to just roll back to that previous Federal Reserve kind of, statement, which said like, you can't charge any fees, you can't charge any, there's no origination. I mean, there was a lot of things in there that would have been very difficult to comply to. So then we got some clarification on how we're going to implement this, from the CFPB. Or do they just remove LO compensation rules altogether? Like, there is no rule regarding LO compensation. And so this will be an interesting one to follow. It sounds to me like this has some legs, and everyone agrees that we need to, at minimum, revisit LO compensation rules to make sure that they're relevant for today's kind of landscape. Now, when I think back to 2010, when this stuff went into effect, the main reason for LO compensation rules was because during the ramp up, 2005, 2006, 2007, the ramp up to the Great Crash, there was a lot of loan products available that not only were very harmful to consumers, but also paid a lot of money to originators if they were sold in a certain way. So like, for instance, you could give someone a negative amortizing ARM, and then you could put a prepayment penalty on that. And the longer you made the prepayment penalty, the more money you made as an originator. So clearly there was incentive for originators to push high risk products onto consumers. That was a thing. That's real. It was happening. And LO compensation rules, obviously made it so that could not happen anymore. But let's also recognize that those products don't exist anymore today. There is no prepayment penalties on, on most loans. There are some exceptions, typically on business type loans, investment properties, maybe some things of that nature, non-QM loans, etc. But none of your standard products or anything would have a prepayment penalty. So a lot of what was even available from a product perspective that loan officers were incentivized to push their clients into, those don't even exist anymore. So I think it's definitely makes sense to revisit this. And then you also look at the way that things are working in the broker world, right? So there's definitely a clear difference between banks, mortgage banks, and brokers when it comes to LO compensation rules.